Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we are taking my Quest 2 for a drive and talk in some PC VR gaming, sim racing of course, and I thought I'd give you some impressions of what it's like to use as a VR headset for sim racing. I have reviewed other headsets for VR racing games, guys. There are links in the description to other related content which you might find useful. I've owned this Quest 2 for many months, and I really enjoy it as just a headset for VR gaming. I've only recently started using it for PC VR gaming, as I have other dedicated VR headsets for that. PC VR headsets, I have an Index and I have a Pimax, and I've also owned other headsets in my time, also reviewed for sim racing. So again, check the description, guys. But yeah, so I decided to give this a go since I own it, and I do have a plan to review this headset for VR sim racing at some point. Don't know when, but I thought I'd give you some impressions. So, I have a decent amount of experience using VR. I got into VR gaming right from the beginning, so what's 5-6 years now, since the launch of the first gen sort of headsets, the HTC Vive and the Oculus CV1. And I just enjoy VR gaming in general, and of course combining it with sim racing, it's a no-brainer. It is a very good experience. Being in the car, it is something quite special. And as far as I can tell you guys, my impressions of using this headset for PC gaming and VR gaming on my PC, it's very favourable. It's doing a very good job. The picture is smooth. There is if there's any latency, I cannot perceive it, because I do realise that the way this headset works as a wired headset to your PC, of course, is different. It's running over USB rather than from the graphics card to this from the display port. We're just using a single cable, which is both powering, adding some, giving us some power, and also giving us the image from the PC. And that's obviously quite a big deal that they can do all this over one thin cable, and it's doing it very well. I have not experienced any dropouts, or I'm not getting any stutter or anything like that. It just feels like I'm using a regular wired PC VR headset, and it is quite an impressive feat considering the Quest. This is not its primary purpose. It's a standalone headset. You play Quest games on it, and plug it into your PC is very much a secondary feature. But I have to say, it doesn't feel like a secondary feature. It feels like it is made, for this purpose as well. And yeah, I am actually mightily impressed how well it works. I guess a couple of things you might want to know, which is worth knowing, is if you are going to, wiring it up to your PC, you really want to run it over a USB-C port from your PC rather than USB 3.0. And that's not to do with the bandwidth, because it makes no difference. I've tested USB 3 cables, and I'm using a USB-C cable right now. I'm using the official link cable, although you don't need that, as I've actually demonstrated in another video testing cables for PC VR gaming. Again, link in the description. Check it out, guys. There's some interesting stuff about this. But the reason why you want to run it over a USB-C port from your PC is to do with the power output from the sockets, which can run up to 15 watts. USB 3.0 is under 5 watts. In fact, you're going to get under 4 watts of power output from your socket from your PC. And that is a problem for long play times, because when you plug it into your PC, it's still using the battery from the headset. And what the issue with that is it's going to drain down. So although you're going to get an extended amount of playtime, so for instance, say if you have a fully charged battery in your Quest 2, plug it into your PC, some PC VR gaming, instead of getting the normal about 2 hours of gameplay using the standalone, Quest 2, when you have it plugged into your PC, you're going to get about an extra hour. So from a fully charged battery, you can expect to get 3 hours of gameplay. if you run it over, and that's USB 3.0, right? So if you run it over a USB-C socket from your PC, which can output a higher wattage, you can play, and it will also charge the battery at the same time, so it will maintain the charge on the battery. You don't have that that kind of limitation of it having a limited amount of kind of game time with the headset. So yeah, that's the reason why you want to actually put the time in, get a USB-C cable, and if you don't have a USB-C port on your PC, a lot of PCs still don't have them, it's still fairly new, is to get yourself a PCI add-on card, that adds that facility. Plug it into one of your PCI Express slots, and there you go. You're up and you can get up and running with this, and it'll be a no compromise setup for PC VR gaming. So that's kind of my advice, guys. Yeah, the Quest 2, it's got on, it looks good, it's sharp. There is effectively no screen door. If you look for it really hard, you can kind of see it, but it's very, very vague. So screen door on this headset is almost invisible. I would say the colours of what I'm seeing and the kind of the brightness of the screen slightly more washed out compared to my dedicated wired VR headsets like the Index, but that doesn't surprise me really. It is running less, with less power running to it. It reminds me very much of the Oculus CV1 in that respect. That ran off a single USB port plus from the graphics card as well, so 2 cables, and it kind of reminds me of that sort of like amount of sort of like brightness and depth of color. And there's certainly nothing wrong with it. It still looks good to me. But yeah, it is different. But obviously, every VR headset, is different in its own way with the different panels used. And they've done a good job here. I have to say, it doesn't feel like it's a compromise, which you might imagine it would be. But I can happily, run this headset and play VR PC gaming, and feel like it's a genuine headset which is designed for that purpose, which is a good thing. Kind of surprising, really, isn't it, really, guys? I mean, yeah, if you want like the best of the best, then sure, a wired PC headset, like going for the Index or Pimax, anything like that. Any other wired PC headset, standard one, probably is going to be a little bit better. But I imagine we're talking about diminishing returns off a cliff edge where it's kind of irrelevant. I would personally say if this was the only headset I had, I'd be quite happy to use this for all my, VR gaming and experiences, PC and also, obviously the Quest stuff as well, which I really do quite enjoy. Yeah, I have to say, I have no complaints about this. The setup is dead easy. It is, you run the Oculus software, it's kind of plug and play, it works with Steam games. This is a Steam game. I'm running Autumn Blister 2 right now as I go off the track. Let's restart that. And yeah, I've had no issues whatsoever. It's running really well. Well, let's just show you this actually. I don't know if you can see, if we move the steering wheel and the rapidly turn it, and you can just see my real steering wheel on the virtual one. I mean, can you tell? Is there any latency? Is there any lag? I can't tell if there is. If there is, and I believe the way it works, the way the image is compressed and sent over the data cable, there is a little bit more latency compared to dedicated VR headsets, PC VR headsets. But I have to say, I can't tell a difference. And I have tested a bunch of different games as well, and I can't tell. Everything is running as smoothly and as well as I would expect from any VR headset I've used. So that's obviously positive stuff there, guys. Yeah, I will make a review at some point, and we'll go into more detail, go over the specs and everything else, because clearly I'm being a bit sort of vague on everything here, guys. This is just really giving you an idea of what it's like, and it's good. It's really, really good. I'm kind of surprised how well it does work over USB, considering. but it just shows you it is possible. I do wonder if, yeah, maybe we are running a reduced bit rate compared to a say my index, but I can't say that is really affecting the quality of the image. Maybe it looks a bit better on the index. If it is, it's hard to tell because obviously we've got different panels, which are going to make the image look different anyway, just like different monitors make the game look different on screen, just from that kind of, that alone. So yeah, I have to say, I'm not seeing any problems with sharpness or detail. It's running smoothly. It looks good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah, I guess maybe there's something a little bit, the picture looks a little better on the index. Maybe there's some sort of compression there, which is making the image not look quite as good. But I have to say, I'm finding that difficult to kind of give you a real kind of a difference, which I can say I can see something which makes a massive difference. I don't think there is. The way maybe I could compare it is, say if you have like a photo, take a photo on a digital camera, and it's going to be a massive, big raw image, like huge, 100 megabytes, and you run it through, you compress it using a JPEG compression, and it loses a little bit of the quality, but it still looks good. I think maybe that's kind of what I'm seeing here, that, it could be a little bit better, but it still looks actually pretty decent. So I don't think anyone's going to be too unhappy with it, with the quality of what you're seeing through, through the lenses here. The other thing I do like about the Quest 2 is a headset I can wear for hours on end and not feel any eye tiredness, any fatigue, any eye strain. And often I do. Sometimes I play some VR gaming on this headset for many hours, and I don't have any issues whatsoever. So it's a very comfortable headset on my eyes. The sweet spot is good. Edge to edge sharpness is really good, except when you get to like the very edge. But I have to say it's good. And yeah, it's just a good, strong VR headset. Very comfortable. Swap out the head strap, of course, to something better. There is no EMI issues. I thought I'd mention that, using a Fanatec wheelbase. I even take a glove off and just to prove that. So we don't have the same problem like with the Steam VR headsets with my CSL DD. I have a problem there. Can't put that glove back on, so I'll just be like Michael Jackson. And yeah, it's a good, solid headset. Easy to set up. Works with your PC VR games. Works with the Quest games, which are awesome. Really nice hand controllers, good tracking, good hand tracking. It's really hard to fault this headset considering how good value it is for the money. And the only thing you do need to invest in, as I said, you need to kind of change the head strap to something better than the stock one. And when you do run a cable to this headset, because it is plugged into, which is obviously on the other side here, it is a USB-C socket. It's obviously quite a fragile socket, just like any USB socket, and you're hanging a long cable off it. So you do need to be careful about that and make sure that cable is very well secured to the side of your headset, to make sure there is no stress on that socket, because I imagine, these things are getting bust. I can imagine that people are breaking the cables or breaking the socket, rendering, their breaking their Quest 2s in the process, and that probably is a thing. So as long as you make sure that cable is well secured, you'll be okay. And that's the only kind of thing you do need to be, take care of, is ensure that is nicely set tight on this headset, and then you should be fine. But that's the only thing you need to worry about, guys. Headset, and also the interface. Actually, change the facial interface from the stock one, because that's pretty horrible foam on there. And I know they come with a silicone cover these days as well. It's just a horrible, sweat-making kind of thing. Change interface, facial interface, something better, and the head strap, and then you'll be absolutely golden. And it's the most comfortable headset you will ever wear. It's a kind of compact unit. It doesn't feel heavy on my head, and it's very well balanced. So yeah, it's a very, very nice headset in that respect as well. Okay, guys, that's all I have to tell you. I'm going to end it now because, yeah, that's all I had to say. Just a few notes, a few impressions of what it's like to use. I'm not sure if I mentioned, this is Autumn Ballista 2, and one of the best games to run in VR, really, for VR sim racing, in my opinion. In fact, it's not even my opinion, it's the truth of the matter. But anyway, I'm just kind of rambling on now, so I'm going to end it now. Hope you found this useful. Do drop comments below the video. If you have a Quest 2, you're using it for VR sim racing, drop your feedback as well. If you like it, you dislike it, are you having problems? Let me know in the comments. Share that information. It's always good for other people to, to know as well how other people are experiencing this headset. My early impressions of using it as a PC VR headset has been very encouraging. I'm very happy with it. More testing to come. I need to do some more, try some different sim titles as well. And eventually I will bring out a proper review and give you my verdict. But so far, so good. I have nothing really bad to say about it. But we'll see after a bit of time, when I've used it a bit longer, if there's any kind of flaws I can find in it. But if there is, it's pretty minor stuff. I'm happy with it, guys. Anyway, well, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, happy simming, and bye-bye.